welcome back to the third episode of this CV skill storytelling series. Desmond here is going to narrate a story that he told me yesterday. He's going to tell you guys about how this guy was actually embarrassed by a company that was recruiting. He will tell you more details, but Desmond, take it
Yeah,
out.
so sometimes when you apply to any company and they schedule an interview for you, and then you go for the interview, one of the first things you should be expecting is that all the questions should be tailored towards what you have done or what you can do. If it doesn't really concern the job, then you should have a second thought about it. So sometimes if you add certain skills to your CV, let's say you are applying for a health job and you have maybe a section in your CV where you've volunteered for people. If they're asking questions about the volunteerism, it's not bad, okay? It's not a bad thing in itself, even though it doesn't really concern the job. Maybe you might not have volunteered at a health facility or anything like that, but if the questions are about volunteerism, that's not bad. But when you are suddenly asked questions about how to repair a socket, that's like so different from the work at hand. Maybe you might be picked if you are good at that, but sometimes the company might not be serious. They might just be there to ridicule you. So a friend of mine applied to this company in Ejiso, and then he went for an interview, and right from the start it was like he wasn't needed at the place.
Ejiso Kumasi.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Right from the start, it was like he wasn't needed at the place. They asked a few questions about him, where he went, where he schooled, what he could do, and then all of a sudden the trajectory of the questions just changed. So they began asking questions about his hobbies, and then they said, okay, they've gotten the people they want to work with, and they don't really think he will fit into their team, but they found out on his social media that he can rap, so he should give them a freestyle. And well, if I was in his position, I would have given them the freestyle. I don't mind.
He didn't give them the freestyle.
Oh no, he didn't because the question was asked to ridicule him.
Okay.
It wasn't asked to ask for him to showcase his talent.
But
so,
if it was for you, and it was for you to be ridiculed in that manner, would you still give them the freestyle?
well, someone like me, I know I won't get the job. I don't mind. It won't change anything. So when I applied for my internship and I was doing my interview, I told the interviewer that rapping was part of my skills, even though it was out of my program of study at that time.
Or professional domain.
Exactly. And she wasn't worried at all. Okay, my boss wasn't worried at all. But for Ghanaian companies, they are the book type, so they are definitely going to hold you accountable for that. And so if you know how to rap, they will tell you, what am I freestyle?
Do you think that's like professional in that context?
It depends. It depends on the situation. In my friend did natural resource, so he was, and it was the company was into, I think, wood export, something like that.
Okay.
You understand? So that was his field.
Okay.
Okay. So he's expecting questions in that regard. So for you to ask him to rap about what? The woods or afforestation?
I don't
or
know.
deforestation.
I mean,
so it was so unnecessary at that point. And at that point he knew he wasn't going to get the job, because if they have stopped, and then all of them were laughing. That's what he said.
That's humiliating.
All of them on the panel, I think they were 5. All of them were laughing. So at that point, you just have to just take your leave and then never set your foot back at the place again. So incidents like that, that doesn't rule out the fact that sometimes you'll be asked questions out of your domain. Okay, sometimes you'll be asked questions out of your domain, and that is what will get you the job. Yes, but sometimes it will be down to ridicule you. So you just have to read situations and then as and when necessary, you bounce. I don't know if I can remember any incident where I have gotten any opportunity out of my domain like that before. But
so I think, while he's thinking, I think it's very good that at least the company, I wanted to make this point that the company actually took time to research about the candidates and their social media background. This is to say, guys, that you should always be careful of what you put on your social media. Yeah, catch them. Yeah, catch them. And catch them. Say, like, make sure you put things, you sanitize the social media, especially when you're looking for a job, because in this case, yes, he was ridiculed, but maybe let's say he was going to apply for.
I wasn't ridiculed.
I know it's not you, but the person that was going to apply for the job, let's say he was going to work for Marvin Records or Mr. Easy.
Yeah.
That would be like a, maybe even if it was in a managerial or program management position, that would still be like an other or relevant skill in that position, because it has to do with music and creativity and innovation and all of that.
Yeah.
So I think that you should, when I say sanitize your social media, I don't mean when remove your, if you're a rapper or something like that, no, but I mean not insulting, like, you know, things that are not professional. You know, some people post test traps and like all of these unsanitary things on social media. If you're looking for a job, you shouldn't do that. Also, in that regard, also your LinkedIn should be put together in the same vein and be looking good, and should be your LinkedIn CV URL should be on your CV. Have you remembered what you wanted to say?
I don't have nothing to say.
Okay, all right. So thank you so much for listening to this story, and we'll see you in the last episode, or maybe last but one. Bye.
Audio Jungle.
You can say 500 cedis. The
Yeah, I was actually 500
the fee is 900 cedis.
Let's do the video. Why? Oh God, your face is